Imagine being told that one day you would compete against some of the most powerful technology companies on Earth, Google, Microsoft, and even the company that helped spark the AI revolution. Most people would laugh, but one middle-class boy believed he could do exactly that. And today, millions of people use the company he built. This is the story of Aravind Srinivas and how he turned curiosity into one of the fastest-growing AI startups in the world. Before the headlines, before the investors, before Perplexity AI, there was just a kid who loved learning. Aravind Srinivas grew up in India, in a middle-class family. He didn't have unlimited resources. He didn't have wealthy parents opening doors for him, and he certainly didn't have a roadmap showing him how to build a billion-dollar company. What he did have was curiosity, the kind of curiosity that keeps you awake at night, the kind that makes you ask questions most people never think to ask. While many students focused on passing exams, Aravind became fascinated with technology, computers, and the way information moved across the internet. He wasn't just interested in using technology, he wanted to understand it. How did computers think? How did search engines find information? How could machines learn from data? Those questions would eventually shape the rest of his life. And here's something important. At the time, nobody knew his name. He wasn't famous. He wasn't trending online. He was simply a student trying to learn as much as possible. But sometimes, that's exactly where extraordinary stories begin. As he got older, his passion for technology only grew stronger. He studied engineering and became deeply interested in artificial intelligence. This wasn't the AI world we know today. There were no viral AI apps, no AI-generated videos flooding social media, no daily headlines about chatbots. Artificial intelligence was still a field that many people barely paid attention to. But Aravind saw potential, massive potential. So he pushed himself harder. He spent years studying, researching, and improving his skills. Eventually, his dedication paid off. He earned opportunities that many aspiring engineers only dream about. He worked with some of the most respected AI organizations in the world. OpenAI, Google, DeepMind. Think about that for a second. Most people would consider that the finish line. A prestigious job, a great salary, the chance to work alongside some of the smartest minds on the planet. For many people, that's the dream. But for Aravind, something kept bothering him. Every day, billions of people search for information online, and yet the experience often felt frustrating. You type a question, the search engine gives you 10 blue links, then you open one link, then another, then another. You scroll through advertisements, you dig through pages of information, and eventually, maybe, you find the answer you were looking for. Aravind kept thinking, why should finding information be this difficult? Why can't technology simply answer the question directly? The more he thought about it, the more convinced he became that search could be completely reinvented. And that's when he faced a decision that would change his life. Stay comfortable, or take a risk, a very big risk. Leaving a top AI company sounds exciting when people tell the story afterward, but in reality, it's terrifying. Imagine walking away from a stable career, a predictable paycheck, a respected position, and deciding to build something from scratch. No guarantees, no certainty, no promise that anyone would ever use what you're building. That's exactly what Aravind did. In 2022, he co-founded Perplexity AI. The goal sounded simple: create an AI-powered search experience that gives people direct answers instead of forcing them to dig through endless links. Simple idea, extremely difficult execution, because now he wasn't competing against small startups. He was entering a battlefield dominated by giants, companies with thousands of employees, companies worth hundreds of billions of dollars, companies with resources most founders could only dream about. From the outside, it looked almost impossible. And the early days weren't glamorous. There were no victory celebrations, no magazine covers, no worldwide recognition, just a small team trying to solve a massive problem. Day after day, week after week, month after month, building, testing, improving, failing, trying again. That's the part most people never see. When we look at successful companies, we usually see the final result. We see the headlines. We see the valuations. We see the success. What we don't see are the countless hours spent working when nobody's watching. The moments of doubt, the setbacks, the uncertainty. Perplexity had to earn every user, one at a time. And for a while, many people didn't pay attention. Then something interesting happened. People started trying the product, and they liked it a lot. Instead of searching through pages of links, users could ask questions and receive clear, conversational answers. The experience felt different. It felt faster, more natural, more intuitive. People started sharing it with friends. Friends shared it with coworkers. Coworkers shared it with entire teams. Slowly, the momentum began to build. Then it accelerated. And then it exploded. Millions of users started using Perplexity. Investors took notice. The tech industry took notice. The media took notice. Suddenly, the small startup that many people had ignored was being discussed alongside some of the biggest names in artificial intelligence. Not because it had the most money, not because it was the biggest company, but because it solved a real problem. Today, Perplexity AI is one of the most talked about companies in the AI industry. And while the company continues to grow, the most fascinating part of the story isn't the technology, it's the lesson behind it. Aravind Srinivas didn't start with unlimited resources. He didn't start with $1 billion investment. He didn't start with fame. He started with curiosity, a willingness to learn, a willingness to ask questions, and the courage to take a risk when everyone else would have played it safe. That's what makes this story so powerful. Because most people think success begins with money, but many times, success begins with curiosity. A single question, a single idea, a single decision to keep learning when everyone else stops. And that's exactly what happened here. A middle-class boy became fascinated by technology. That fascination became expertise. That expertise became a vision. And that vision became Perplexity AI, a company now challenging the way the world finds information. Not bad. For a kid who simply refused to stop asking questions. So here's the real question. If you had a secure career, a comfortable future, and an idea you truly believed in, would you have taken the same risk? Let me know in the comments.